but I won't use the N-word. You know, Mont, Nignog, Nigor, Porch Monkey, Jungle Bunny, Spear Chucker, Sambo, but I won't use the N-word, okay?
You've thought a lot about this, haven't you?
Yeah, I really have been thinking, and I lost sleep over because I don't want to offend you. You're my boy, man. I mean, we don't ever see you on camera next to that other new fat bastard next to Stu. But I mean, I love you, dude.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no
fat
problem.
bastard sitting next to Stu gets
Yeah.
is another conversation. Joe, thank you very much. Thank you very. Who is it? Thank you for your call. That's Joe, the loser Joe. We call him. He lives in Poland. He's an American. But at least Americans who live in America have got a beautiful country. They might be assholes, but they've got a beautiful country. The reason Joe is loser...
plumbing.
And plumbing.
And heating.
And heating.
And
the
probably
reason
a roof.
Joe is the loser's loser. The loser's loser is because he is an American who turned his back on Montana and the Grand Canyon and the Niagara Falls, and he went to live in Krakow.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Who's on Skype?
This is Stinger. I've got a whole bunch of people lined up on Skype, so they'll just have to hang on if it's just ringing and ringing and ringing.
Are they talking about Star Trek?
I don't honestly know, to be honest with you.
Okay, who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
My name's Josh.
Josh? Hello, Josh.
Hello.
We're talking about Star Trek tonight, Josh.
And I think he's hung up. Yep.
Okay. What else you got, Stuart?
I've got another Skype one on the go for you.
Okay. Hi, you're on Play Radio.
Hi, Tommy, it's Alan here. I totally agree with what you say about Star Trek. I mean, the Ku Klux Klan, I feel they've got a hidden agenda. It's a bit like the American version of a Nazi.
No, I had to back you up there. One thing about the Ku Klux Klan, Alan, is that they don't have a hidden agenda.
It's not very well hidden, is it?
What do you think it might be?
Yeah. What do you think is going on behind all those burnings and lynchings?
Hang on a minute, because we've
That's
now...
right. We lost him. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way of finding out whether people calling us on Skype want to talk about Star Trek? Because that's hello. There's some guy
talk about Star Trek. I sent you some documents.
Who's this? Is this Big Steve?
Yeah, it's Fat Steve. And by the way, Duncan, listen to the recordings before you make up your mind.
About what?
About whether I'm an American douchebag or
I've never called you an
whether
American
I was the
douchebag.
one being bullied.
I've never suggested there was bullying going on.
Anyway, I've sent you some supporting documents, some pictures from Star Trek. The original logo used to be the KKK hood, and there's a picture of the Uhura where you can specifically see a cross burning outside the window of the ship.
I showed you that earlier on, didn't I?
I didn't see Uhura and the cross burning outside the window. I am impressed with Steve's research, which suggests that the insignia on their chest in all their original Star Trek uniforms look like a KKK hood. That's pathetic, Steve, the cross burning outside the window. That's juvenile.
So there was that one with the cross burning outside the window, okay?
Yeah.
And then...
it's terrible.
It's adolescent.
And then there was the other one.
I mean, don't you care about planet Earth?
And then there's that one, which is the Star Trek logos.
Yeah.
Which you can't really see very well on the camera, unfortunately, but they are very much like clan heads.
Are those the real ones, or is that another one of Steve's? He's got time on his hands, hasn't he? Obviously, none of his writing projects are actually being taken up.
Interestingly enough, if you look at the ones on the chest, which are the ones that have been shopped, right? Yeah. They're the ones that are meant that Steve's made even more to look like the hoods. But if you look down the very bottom, where the actual Star Trek wording is down here somewhere, look at the symbol in between the word Star and Trek, which is actually the symbol, right?
Vaguely,
still actually looks like a clan's hat.
It does, kind of vaguely, but I'm dealing in firmer stuff than that. I'm sorry to pull rank here, but being a proper journalist,
can I just ask a question? I mean, because let me just get this straight in my head. I mean, the foundations. I'm a very sceptical person, as you know, right? And I have very few conspiracies that I would give any airtime to, apart from the Diana one, which we'll talk about another time. The foundations for this conspiracy, or your views, are solid, in my view. You said it's
frightening.
you said earlier there was a set of coincidences, and that's the key to it, because a lot of conspiracy theories are based on maybe one coincidence that people then build on and expand and go, well, this was the case.
Yeah.
You have highlighted several.
Yeah.
Which was, to me, it's the beginning of how Star Trek's being created.
Yeah.
Thus, your thinking, therefore, does it move on to once the television program had hit the airwaves of America? Where are the next set of coincidences?
Okay, what's actually in the programs themselves?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to that.
Okay.
Good. Clear thinking, Duncan, and I admire it. No wonder you're going places. Quick, Steve, are you still with us there, fella?
Yes, and I just want to assure you that I did not knock those pictures up in 10 minutes in Photoshop.
What do you make of the evidence then, Steve? Obviously, you've seen Canadian Star Trek because you are another once sad American adolescent. You, no doubt, loved Star Trek, and I expect you had some memorabilia at home.
In fact, you're right about the sad adolescent. I just never really liked Star Trek. In fact, I'd probably rather watch a documentary about anal rape while being anally raped than watch Star Trek.
I'm with you, mate.
Nice.
Well, we can't help you, Steve, here, but if anybody's within
Touching
2 hours of Yapton, Matt wants to take it up the arse.
Hey, all he has to do is nip off to Brighton.
I think a certain tall fellow might be interested.
Can I just ask a question here, Matt? This is do you ever think before you respond to what someone said?
Do you remember that thing that
I mean, the words anal rape, quite strong, going in a certain direction. And, I'm with you, mate. Bend over.
He's kind of painting a picture, isn't he, about how much he dislikes Star Trek.
Now, you remember what Ian told you last week?
Yeah, what I paid attention to.
Engage brain before opening mouth.
So can I just clarify, before we go totally off topic, that you would rather be buggered than watch Star Trek?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can enjoy a piece of entertainment.
But I've never been buggered, so I can't really comment.
A lot of your contributions to this effort on a Sunday night suggest that you are buggered in so many ways, Steve. But listen to me. Just come back to it. I want to get the thoughts of what is an unusual. Yeah, we are able to see Steve tonight. I don't know if whether the listeners are able to see Steve, but he's not fat at all. Although he's balding, that's why he's wearing one of those baseball caps like Yanks do.
He's even got a mic on a stand.
There you go, see it. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a Prince Charles there, haven't you, man? But Steve,
I'm wearing a Fidel Castro Cuba type cap.
Well, Desi Arnaz was Cuban, and we'll get round to Desi Lou on Star Trek in just a second. I want to get your reasoned, genuine affirmation, okay, on the fact that the two captains in the first Star Trek were called Pike and then Kirk, and Pike is the name of the man who founded the KKK, and Kirk is what the KKK were originally called. Now, is that just a fantastic coincidence? You have to accept that it's true. If not, somebody's going to have to be bloody good to prove that it isn't. If that's true, is that one of the most fantastic coincidences that you've ever heard? Or...
Absolutely.
Oh, it is? Well, you can fuck off then. You really think that?
Well,
you think that's a coincidence?
Well, I just... No. I think it's not a coincidence. I cannot come up with any possible
explanation.
Maybe there is one of those Star Trek-based theories, like that could explain it. But I haven't watched the show enough.
What I want to say is that you need to move sideways into KCA something or other, because standing as you are, you remind me of all the shock jocks I've ever seen in the States. Okay, fellas, so keep up the good work. And thank you for auditioning with us. Cheers, Steve. Okay, Stinger has emailed or chatted, I notice, asking what are we talking about tonight. We're 2 minutes away from Alan Caddick's sports report, the unique sports report, the best sports report anywhere on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But tonight we're talking about Star Trek. And we're giving the Americans and the kids, sad kids, most of them, who are in thrall of it, something to think about. It's probable that there was some kind of a Freemason or KKK influence in setting up Star Trek all those years ago. There's lots of evidence to suggest it, Perhaps the most astonishing is, as I just mentioned to Steve, that they had 2 captains at the start of this bloody thing, Star Trek. The first one was called Pike, which is a weird name to call a captain in a sci-fi